17th of May, Rabbi Furst, Ruth. Morning, Roy.
Good morning, Lou.
How are you?
Robert, not too bad, thank you. Morning, Barry.
Morning, Barry. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Amori.
Good morning, Rabbi Furst.
You're good.
Good morning, Meir.
Good morning.
Shalom, good morning, Roy. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning,
Good
Barry.
morning.
Good morning, Lou, everyone. Good to see you all today. Okay, recording. So, good morning to all. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst, Yeshivat Samanapti here in Yerushalayim, here on Zoom. We are learning in our first year this morning, Megillus Ruth, and we're in the third parak. Which pasuk did we leave off with yesterday? We're going to review the pasuk we left off on.
4.
Okay.
Oh, it
very
wasn't
good.
Gimel?
No, we wanted to review Gimel.
I think we wanted to do a review of Gimel. Okay. Yeah. Who would
Okay,
like to do
good.
do a little reading today?
Can I start today?
Yeah. If any, unless there's any objections, I'll second the motion.
Okay. Gimel. Rochatzt v'sochta b'samt simlos sayich alayich v'yorad hagoren el tevodi leish ad kalasa le'echol v'listos. You should bathe and anoint yourself and put on your clothes and go down to the threshing floor, but do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking.
Right.
So that's it. This is the conversion.
So we saw the Rashi. Remember, the Rashi said that the raksa, the washing, the bathing, was, as Rashi said, from her avodah zarah, right? She should wash, cleanse herself from her avodah zarah, and sach, anoint herself, as Rashi said, with mitzvahs, with the mitzvahs. So the Brisker Rav learns this was the final steps in her conversion process, which had started 3 months previously, and as the pasuk toward the ends of the second parak was mentioning. So that is a remez. It's not a direct reference, but it's a remez to the fact that she was now fully converted at that time. And we saw one of the Mefarshim explain that the waiting till Boaz had finished eating and drinking, and then to lie down there, that was a remez also to the fact that she was from Moab, from Lot, just as the Benois Lot, daughters of Lot, waited for their father to finish drinking and be intoxicated, and then they were with their father. So Ruth was supposed to also make a remez to that, a indication of the fact that she was from Lot, the ancestry of Lot.
So it comes out like this is the end of this whole long harvesting labor. So he probably got a little intoxicated. You know, it was all over. He could relax a little bit, and he drank. Is that what we get out of this?
I'm not sure if he got intoxicated. He eating and drinking. Usually, drinking indicated that they were drinking wine, but they didn't drink water like we drink water. The point about waiting till the end was that that was when basically everyone else would be going back home. By the time we were sitting down to eat and drink. So that means the work was done for that night, and everyone else was going home.
Right.
Right.
I just wanted, maybe it will be for later, but I wanted to put on the list that there's a very similar situation with Tamar and Yehuda. You know, when they meet up, when they meet up in these unusual circumstances.
Right.
And it seems to be a little bit you know, unusual behavior of a meeting of a man and a woman,
Right.
etc. And also that from that apparently questionable behavior of Tamar and Yehuda, that came out a long line of great people.
Right.
Is that a fair assessment?
Well, the commentaries do make note that also by Yehuda and Tamar, there was this element of impropriety, let's call it impropriety to some extent or another.
Mm-hmm.
But as we mentioned yesterday, it wasn't such a unusual thing that that men and women would be together but not being married, right? So as a matter of fact, it says by Yehuda and Tamar that he actually was Makadish. He was made sure he checked her into many different ways to see if she was properly able to be married to him.
On the road?
Yeah. He asked a certain question. He asked her certain questions that satisfied him that she was okay to be with.
Oh, that it's, in other words, it would, as long as she wasn't married, it was, or betrothed, it would be permitted.
before Matan Torah, the requirements of marriage were very different than what we have today.
Mhm.
So all right, so we can think about that. And as of course we make comment, this is all in order that Malchus based David should be established in a certain way, that the ancestry of David should be not exactly from the, where you say, the purest of stock, but nevertheless it was the pure emotion, the pure kavanah. Tamar was doing it l'shem shamayim. Yehuda was doing it l'shem shamayim.
Mhm.
So that's the basis of Malchus based David, is coming from l'shem shamayim,
Yeah.
the purity of the kavanah. Okay. Yeah, good. Let's see the next pasuk.
Okay. Pasuk Dalid. Vayihi b'shachva v'yodat et hamakom asher yishkav sham uvot v'gilit margelosov v'shachvet. Who yagid lach et asher ta'asa. And and when he lies down, excuse me, and it's and when he lies down, you'll know where he's lying, and you'll go and uncover his feet and lie down, and he will tell you what to do.
Okay.
Wow.
So, any comments about this pasuk?
There's one comment, it's a targum, I guess. Why did she have to know where he was lying down to go to sleep? And then the comment says, then later in the dark of night, when he was fast asleep, she could easily locate him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
one.
the Malbim says that you have to know where he's lying down, so you don't make a mistake and go where the young men are lying down.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Is that
It's similar. Yes, I think so.
something on that order?
Right.
But this was not Yibam, right?
Well, that we have to try and understand what was behind this. What was the Naomi's whole plan over here? What was behind Naomi's advice, giving this advice to Ruth?
Well, she benefited also because her land would be redeemed. Is that right? Is that correct? So she's getting something out of it. Right, because later on he says to Ploni Almoni, you want to redeem the land. And he says, yeah, that party was willing.
Well, also it says that Naomi asked Ruth to uncover his feet as a gesture reminiscent of chalitza.
Oh.
So there is some,
Mhm.
maybe it is a yibum somehow.
Mhm. Um,
Is to make Boaz aware of his moral obligation to her. Wow.
right. Okay.
I see. I see.
There is comment about this in the Gerish Shmuel. He asked this question: what's the whole point of Naomi telling Ruth she should go lie down and cover his feet? So he's basing the Gerish Shmuel is basing his explanation on the fact that he makes an assumption here that Naomi knew that David Melech would be coming out from Boaz. Yeah.
So she's a prophetess?
Um,
She's
I
a
don't know.
How do
I'm
you
not
say
sure
it?
she's got
Novia?
what?
Is the word novia?
Neviah, right.
Novia. It's not clear that she was.
I'm not sure if she's counted within, I think there are 4 prophetesses. I'm not sure if she's counted amongst them.
Mhm. So the 4 were the Amos and Miriam. Is that the 4?
Could be. Well, there's Devorah also. Maybe there were 8. I forgot.
Mhm.
Have to check. 1 minute.
What's that mean?
Okay, so the Gerish Shmuel says that this command of Naomi was in order to pave the way that the Mashiach should come from Boaz and Ruth. That it was done in an absolutely pure manner. The Sutton would complain too much. So
Ah,
by making it done in a somewhat improprietous way, the Sutton wouldn't be so so complaining.
okay.
Um, okay. Um,
Ay, ay, ay.
and what is it? What does this mean that who Yagid lach and Bo is gonna tell her what to do?
Well, he's liable to throw her out. He's going to tell her, whether he's accepting her overtures.
Yeah.
In other words, is I think Rebbe was saying that intimacy between men and women was permitted outside of marriage. So when Naomi says he will tell you what to do, so it would have been possible for him to succumb to her wiles. No, and so apparently Ruth would have accepted that. No, I mean, isn't that the risk that Ruth was taking? I mean, Boaz acted like a tzaddik, but apparently it was a very tempting situation. You have a beautiful woman come, she's all dressed up, and she's got the expensive perfume on and blah blah blah. So I mean, it was a possibility, no?
Yeah. All right, so it seems that the Meforshim are learning that that Boaz, Naomi knew that Boaz wouldn't be masking simply just to have relations with Ruth there right on the spot, right? That wouldn't have served any purpose really. But she knew that if Boaz was understanding of the situation here, he would want to do it in a way that would, as we said before, pave the way for David HaMelech to be born. So let's see the next pasuk. What happened next?
Pasuk hey, Vatomer, and she said, that's Ruth talking, right? Vatomer Aleha, Kol Asher Tamri, Ese, I will do. Wow.
Right. Right. Very good. And next.
Okay. All right.
Next one.
Above, Vatered Hanorin, Hagorin, Vatered Hagorin, Vitas, Kuchol Asher Tzivat Chomosa. And she went down to the granary and she did everything that her mother told her. And she did everything that her mother-in-law told her to do.
Did everything exactly what she said. She said she would do it, and she did it.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Should I
Wait a
go
minute.
on? Yeah, okay,
One second.
yeah.
It seems like Naomi was the director of this scenario.
Right.
Ruth really didn't know what to do.
Mhm. Yeah. One second.
Wow. Hmm.
That's
Right.
interesting.
The Torah Tamim explains further that this is also um, reminiscent of the Benoist Lot, right? That the Benoist Lot, what they did l'shem shemayim, right? That they really thought live, and they had to restart the whole world again with by living with their father, right? And had they really thought that the world was still in existence, they would never have lived with their father. And it was simply the fact that they were concerned that there were no more men in the world alive. Their father was the only man left in the world. Therefore, they decided to live with him. So likewise, Ruth, at the direction of Naomi, was doing all these things l'shem shemayim.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see the next pasuk.
Vayochal Boaz, vayisht, vayitav libo, vayovo lishkav biktzei, rima, v'tavo valet, vatgel, margilsov, vatishkav. So Boaz ate and drank, and his heart was merry, and he went to lie at the edge of the stack. And she came softly and uncovered his feet and lay down. Hmm. So what does it mean? Vayitav libo, and his heart was good.
Right. So Rashi said he was learning Torah. He was learning.
Do it today.
That's what makes it.
Ah.
That's what makes a person really happy. Learning is really what makes a person happy. Not in the food and drink was making him happy.
Ah,
He
okay.
was learning Torah.
I okay. That doesn't mean drunk.
Right.
This harvest that they did was this was the first harvest from the famine. All those years there was a famine,
Mm,
and this was the first one.
that's a good point. It would be mashma that way, right? They didn't return until the famine was over, right?
Yeah, well, that's a long time. We're talking 20 years. That's a long famine.
Right. Right.
Wow. Yeah, that's hard to understand.
Well, I mean, there wasn't much choice when it was famine. There was famine, you know. Remember the Dust Bowl days there in mid?
Midwest? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
that was pretty bad, no?
very dusty. Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute. Uh-huh. Okay.
Can I say something about the Dust Bowl? About that famine? The
Yeah, sure.
the the truth of the matter was that all those farms uh, that were went bankrupt and everybody moved out. They moved further west. They were not owned by the families. They were owned by the banks. They were like they had mortgages. They had these farms, but they didn't own it really. They were paying off to the banks. And so when they abandoned their farms, the banks took them over again. It was in fact their their property, and they consolidated all those little farms into big tracts of land. So
Yeah.
it's like a fairy tale that, oh, these poor little farmers, they lost their property, and what was going it was the banks made out like a bandit again.
Mhm.
They profited hugely.
Yeah. Okay. But what happened to the people?
They migrated further west.
Uh-huh.
Grapes of Wrath.
I see.
You
Okay.
remember that, Mayor?
That's right.
Grapes of Wrath. So they
Okay.
all and so in a way it was Hashem's method of getting the American population to move further west and settle the land,
Uh-huh.
push out the Indians,
Hmm.
or whatever. Well, I guess the Indians were already pushed out.
Yeah,
That was
probably.
that was another chapter, great chapter in American greatness.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next part. Eh?
Okay. Vayehi bechatze halayla. Oh, that's from the Torah, right? That's chatze. That's like when the Yidden went out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in Shmos, right? It's supposed to be
Yeah.
in Shmos.
Vayehi bechatze halayla. Vayechred ha'ish vayilofes han v'hinei ishas shecheves merag letov. And it came to pass at midnight, and the man woke up, and behold, a woman was lying at his feet. Mhm.
Right.
Okay. So I get
All right. Second. So,
It says here, right, according to the Zohar, Boaz was in a dilemma. Should he sin with Ruth? He stood to lose the eternal delight of being with the righteous in paradise. On the other hand, he felt himself being physically aroused, for a woman was lying at his feet. Oh, so he was tempted.
right,
So it's the opposite. Here he's tempted and he resists it, but by Yehuda and Tamar, he doesn't resist. He's tempted by this beautiful woman standing by the side of the road, and but he is tempted. I mean, he's tempted, he gives in.
right.
No? I mean, isn't that seems to be clearly a big difference. But yet, in both cases, it was a holy thing to do.
Right. True. That's right.
Right? Both cases were l'shem shemayim.
If it wouldn't be L'Shem Shemayim, there wouldn't be
Right.
such a great neshama as David Melech coming for them.
Right.
At the same time, there had to be some element of impropriety to
Mhm.
allow it to happen.
Right.
Couldn't,
So
couldn't
this,
be, too,
I,
couldn't be
so-
too pure.
right. So the Sutton says, "Oh, here goes Russ sneaking in and laying down next to Boaz. Okay, I'm done here. I can get on to something else. You know, this seems to be on on the bad road. So I'll leave them alone now, and I'll go try to work on you know, ruin something else. I guess.
If you look at the Rashi, right, like the pasuk says, right, that Yechared Haish, he was startled, right? He was startled, right?
Yeah.
Why should he be startled? What? So he thought,
Oh, he was sleeping. You know, that's a pretty scary thing to happen.
right? He thought that he thought she was a demon. Rashi says.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
That's why he was startled. Right.
Whoops. Rashi says he thought it was a demon and attempted to scream, but she held him and encompassed him in her arms.
Right.
Well, that's
What would be wrong if he screamed? If he screamed, people would come. No.
yeah, sure. The other workers or wherever they were, somewhere else in the barn or next door in the barn, whatever they were, they certainly would have heard somebody screaming.
Right.
Besides, they were also worried about, robbers, right?
Right. Yeah, that's why that's one reason why he was sleeping down there by himself. He was watching out for robbers. Exactly.
So it's normal for him to get scared.
Right. Okay. Okay, let's see another the next pasuk.
Um, so a test, yeah.
Right.
Vayomer, mi at. Who are you? Vatomer, anochi Rus amticha. Ufarasht kenefecha al amotcha.
Amasecha. I am Ruth, your maidservant.
Amos,
Amasecha.
amosecha, ki goel ata. I am Rus, your handmaid, and you shall spread your skirt over your handmaid, for you are a near kinsman.
Right.
Oh, so she's already telling him, like, you're supposed to redeem me.
Right.
Mhm.
It said,
Your act of kindness.
the Medrash says that the Boaz asked a series of questions. He said, "Amalei ruachat or isha at? Are you a demon or are you a woman?" So Ruth said, "Amalei isha ania. I'm a woman." He asked Ruth. He asked her again, "Panuya ad or isha ish at? Are you a single woman or are you a married woman?" Amalei, Ruth said back, "Panuya anochi. I'm a single woman." So he asked her, "Tahora at or tomiat? Are you pure? You pure from Nida or are you tummy from Nida?" Amalei, she said back to Boaz, "Torani, I'm Tor." So Amalei miat. So tell me, who are you? The Tomer Anochi Ruth Amasechi. She said, "Finally, I'm Ruth, your maidservant."
Mhm. Well, Naomi is certainly forcing the issue.
Uh,
Hmm.
uh,
Wow. So does that mean in those days the demons were still around?
sure.
I mean, that they saw them? I know they're
Yep,
still around now, but we don't see them. We got a reprieve, right?
that's right.
So they're still here, but we don't get scared by them anymore. But
Right.
but in those days, it was a common enough where he thought it might be a demon.
That's right.
Interesting that these demons also speak.
Yeah, they can speak. I think they can speak. So the Medrash also says that it's a little bit going further, but Medrash says a person should always go and try and get a bracha from a tzaddik, even if the tzaddik's very old, because we see that Boaz was 80 years old at the time, and he gave Ruth a bracha that she should have children, and Ruth was 40 years old and she hadn't had any children yet. Right?
That was also unusual because she was married to for 10 years.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. Because that's the next puzzle. Let's
Okay.
do one more puzzle.
Pasuk Yud. Vayomer Barucha at. You should be blessed. La Hashem, by Hashem biti, my daughter. He's calling her my daughter. That's like making a distance between them. Right. Heitavt Chazdeich V'acharon min Harishon Levilti Lechet Acharei Habechurim V'im Dal Im Usar. May you be blessed of the Lord, my daughter. Your latest act of kindness is greater than the first, not to follow the young men, whether rich or poor.
Right. I mean, he's saying that he understood that Ruth was obviously interested in him, even though he was twice her age. Right.
But for a mitzvah.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, definitely for a mitzvah, sure. That and now he calls them the Bechorim. He calls them he doesn't call them Narim. He doesn't call them Kochim. He calls them Bechorim. Bachrim.
Who's being called Bechorim?
What?
Oh, the young men are called Bechorim?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They're not Na'arim anymore.
Right. Okay. Well, let's stop here. We'll review this last pasuk, the pasuk 10 tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. We'll
Right.
stop here and review that. We'll be picking up tomorrow, Mr. Shem.
Okay.
Okay, Yofi.
Thank you, Roy. Should have a good
Okay,
afternoon.
Okay, Roy. See you tomorrow, Roy.
Bye.
Shkoach, Barry.
Be seeing you all soon. We'll
Okay.
start Mr. Brew in a few minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.